Welcome back. Craig Short is our guest this week. After the first 9 games of the season, Leicester City were bottom of the table. Since then, the Foxes have brushed up their form. Steve Lee reports.
A good dose of medicine from Dr. Sven has been the perfect pick-me-up for Leicester City. Bottom of the table just over a month ago, they've now lost just once in 6 league matches. A late Steve Howard penalty gave them a fortuitous draw with Sheffield United in midweek, but there's no doubting the Sven factor.
I think he's definitely doing something right. You know, if you speak to any one of the boys, they're really enjoying the sort of style of play that we're playing now, and the training's really improved, and I think that's starting to show on the pitch, and obviously now the results are coming, and we're looking up the table rather than down at the moment.
Andy King at 22 is almost one of the Leicester veterans, joining 6 years ago under Craig Levein. Since then he's dealt with no less than 7 managers. So how does Sven compare?
He is calm, and I think that reflects on the players, and it allows the players to go and express themselves, and he really gives everyone confidence to go and play in the way that they do best, and I think that's shown again with the performances. He's allowing the players to do what they want and let them do it freely, and if they know they've got the backing of the manager to do that, and they can go and express themselves, then it's only going to bring good things on the pitch, and to be fair to him, and that's what he's managed to achieve so far.
Last season, Cardiff City put paid to Leicester's promotion dreams in the playoffs. Paulo Sousa took over in the summer from Nigel Pearson, but City hit the rocks.
I think it was probably a number of things. You know, at the start of the season we weren't really getting the rub of the green, and we had a lot of goals disallowed, and then we were getting deflections against us, and some bad decisions, you know, and sometimes things just happen like that in football, but it's about the squad now, and the new manager we've got in now, and it's about picking ourselves up and really sticking together and trying to climb up the table.
Next up for Sven's improving side, an all-East Midlands affair with informed Derby County.
They've had an outstanding run. You know, you've only got to look at their place in the table. As you say, I think they're 4th or 5th at the moment, and they've got good players. You know, they've got experience with some younger players as well, and it's really working for them. And with it being a local derby as well, I'm sure it'll be a tough game, but one everyone here is looking forward to.
Leicester are now just 5 points from a playoff spot. Equally, they could slip back down into the relegation zone.
We do have to be ambitious as a club. You know, we've got new owners who are ambitious, and like the players themselves want to push up the league, as does the manager, and he's really installed that into us. And like I say, you know, we're looking to push up the table as quickly as possible, and just try and string a consistent run of performances together.
Getting his message across, Sven, isn't he? Do you think they can do it under him?
Yeah, I think it's a big blow losing Nigel Pearson, because you know, took them nearly there, getting beaten in the playoffs last year. Struggled at the start of the season, I think, because probably a hangover from the playoff defeat, got a slow start, but now they've got Sven in. My brother's just joined as a fitness coach, and he just said, like Andy said then...
Chris Short has joined?
Yeah, Chris has gone in there 2 or 3 weeks ago. Got a very good coach in Derek Fazakli, who's been at international level, Premiership level, who was doing well at Huddersfield with Lee Clark. And then Chris said, you know, Sven's, and like Andy said there, he seems to give players confidence, and I think that's half the problem sometimes with players. You've got to give them a lift sometimes, they're nervous, they've always had a difficult start. The players probably rock bottom, and he's gone in there and cajoled them and eased them into it, and now they're seeing the benefits, and they're probably playing with a bit of freedom.
And also, Andy sounds very mature there, but he's only 22 still. And they say, don't they, that serving under manager after manager after manager can affect younger players more than the experienced ones. And Andy served under 9 managers now.
That's crazy, really, isn't it, when you think about 9 managers at a club and he's only 22 years old, you know, but he's obviously got a lot about him to be the captain at 22. But I always found it very difficult. A new manager came into a club, you have to prove yourself again. I think the manager realises that players are a little bit nervous when a new manager comes in. They are a little bit fearful what his ideas are. I think that's probably where Sven is good. He's given them that confidence, that belief, and also with Derek Fazakli's coaching. I've seen Derek Fazakli coach. He's one of the best coaches I've seen.
Of course, Andy is international class himself for Wales, and he's got a few goals this season. He's got 7 now, 11 all of last season, so he's well on course to break that, isn't he?
Yeah, I think Chris was talking to me the other day about how fit he was as well. So he's breaking from midfield and getting the goals. And you know, a team that strikes the score is great, but if you get the midfielder popping up with double figures in a season, it does help.
He's a big influence for a young man.
He is a big influence. And, you know, how many teams you see with a captain of that age. You know, I think we're going to talk about Tony Mowbray. I think Tony Mowbray was 22 when he was first captain, but it's very unusual, very unusual.
Yeah, and it shows you that there's spirit in the squad, doesn't it? When midweek they came back to equalise the last minute, penalty, Steve Howard, 2-2 against Sheffield United. Good sign, although it's only a point at home. It's a good sign, isn't it?
Well, they've had a decent little run. I think they probably thought Sheffield United's been struggling to score goals lately. I know Gary will be really disappointed to lose that or to draw in the last minute. It'll feel like a loss to him. But Leicester are keeping that run going, and Paul Gallo, a great free kick. Paul was at Blackburn with me, good technician. So they're keeping that run going, and I think 5 points outside the playoffs, they'll be challenging there in a couple of months.
Mark Yates got both the goals for Sheffield United and then gave away the handball, which set up the Leicester penalty.
It seems very harsh, this handball here. There's 1 or 2 harsh handball decisions I've seen this week, and this does really, it's, I don't know, the rules now, I think very harsh. You don't get that at home, really.
They finished 2-2, and you know, Mark Yates scoring 2 is great, but they're struggling for goals, Sheffield United a bit, aren't they? But for Leicester, the Sven pickup, if you like, is obvious. The win ratio before him was 20% this season. It's now 50%.
I think he's just got that aura about him when he's walked into a club. He's got all that presence. As we said, you know, he's changed the staff completely, brought in a new coach, and the majority of those players were the same team that took that team to the playoffs last year, so they're not a bad bunch of players. So he's getting it right now.
Okay, tonight at Deep Day.